Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AZD here with a third stimulus check update and what's going on with the third stimulus check update and what's going on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Now, as many of you had already known, that in the House of Representatives, the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan stimulus package was passed in the House of Representatives, and then it went to the Senate. Now, when it got to the Senate, there were some few changes that was made. Some of the changes that was made was in terms of the limit, the income limit. So if you made about 75,000 to 80,000, you should be all set. I believe it starts to dwindle out. The payment starts to dwindle out after you make 75,000, and it caps at 80,000. So for a single person, it's 80,000, and for a married couple, it's about $160,000. Another thing that changed in the Senate was the $15 minimum wage. Remember in the plan, the House of Representatives was trying to include the $15 minimum wage into that. You know, moving the minimum wage up from I think like $7 to $15 over an increment about 5 years. But that part of the bill didn't make it through because the Senate parliamentarian didn't agree with that part of the bill, saying that part doesn't fit with this kind of bill that's going on. With that said, though, it did get voted 50 to 49 in the Senate, so it did pass in the Senate. And right now, as we speak, it is back at the House of Representatives to go over those changes that was made for the House of Representatives. To vote on it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Before I continue this video, make sure you hit that like button so YouTube and the algorithm can know that this video is of value to you and can be of value to others. So as we continue to talk about the stimulus check, the $1,400 stimulus check, because it was passed in the American Rescue Plan, a $1,400 direct payment of stimulus check to individuals as well as to married couple to individuals who makes under $80,000, as well as to married couple who makes under $160,000. So basically $75,000 or less, or $150,000, kind of like how the last one was. But included in this one will be $1,400 for dependent children as well as adult dependent. So if you have an adult dependent, maybe you have a child 19, 20 years old, and they're at home and they're away at college or they're at school, or whatever you may have, and you claim them as adult, or maybe you have an adult parent who lives with you that you take care of, that you take care of their bills, they live with you, and you claim them as a dependent on your tax return, you will also be eligible to get $1,400 for those dependents. So it's $1,400 per person as well as $1,400 per dependent. And I don't think it's a cap on the dependents. So for example, if you have 5 children, that's I'm not even going to do the math right now, but if you have 5 children, that's almost over $7,000 maybe. Do the math, let me know what's the exact number in the comment. But as we continue though to talk about the stimulus check, adults dependents are included, and that's a big thing because I know in the last 2 stimulus checks, adult dependent weren't included, so they was kind of left out, especially dependents who have dependents away at college, or if you have a dependent who may be working a small part-time job and they're still claimed on their parents' tax return, they will be eligible for that $1,400 stimulus check. Other questions about who are eligible for this $1,400: SSI, SSDI, non-filers, railroad retirees, veterans, basically everybody. If you have a social security card, if you have a social security number, you will be eligible for the $1,400 stimulus check. Now, if you filed your 2019 tax return, they will be going off of the 2019 tax return. Also, if you file the 2020 tax return, they'll be also basing it off the 2020 tax return. So make sure you look at those numbers, because if you make more in 2020, say if you make more than $75,000 as a single person or $150,000 as a married couple, you might want to wait off. I'm not trying to say, I'm not no tax advisor, I'm not a financial advisor, none of that stuff. I'm just saying, like, if you made more in 2020, you might want to hold off before you file, because they were going to be based off the 2019 tax return. So basically the same thing. If you made more in 2019 and you didn't get a stimulus check, and you made less in 2020, less than 75,000 in 2020, go ahead and file, and you should be eligible for your $1,400 stimulus check. Also, your dependents should be eligible for the $1,400 stimulus check. So we got SSI, SSDI, railroad retirees, non-filers, adult dependents, all should be eligible for the $1,400 stimulus check. Now, another big question is, when will we start to see these $1,400 stimulus check into people's account, or when people will start to see stuff mailed out to them? So people, for example, who are non-filers, a lot of non-filers will get a paper check mailed out to you. And if you already filled out from, like, say from the first stimulus check, if you already filled out the information with a non-filer tool in regards to your address, your bank account, all your important information, I believe they should have it already on file. So if you did it on the first stimulus check and you receive the second stimulus check without having to do anything else, any non-filers, any following up with the IRS, you should also be receiving that third stimulus check by the way you received the first stimulus check or second stimulus check. So it could also be by the EIP debit card, it could be a check, or as well as your direct deposit to your bank account. So make sure your bank account information is up to date. Make sure you didn't change anything from the last stimulus check or from the last time you file your taxes, because they will be using that bank information that you use. Some question that I had was in regards to if you file through a third party, will there be the same problems such as with the first stimulus check and the second stimulus check, especially the first stimulus check? I'm not really sure about that. I don't think that once they figured out the information, the correct information, and your correct data in terms of address, bank account, you wouldn't have to worry about that, because they would be basing it off of the information they have from your last stimulus check. So the current information they have is the current information they will be basing it off of. So let's get back to the question. I kind of got off sidetrack a little bit. Let's get back to the question of when we will be receiving it. What they're saying is people will start to see direct deposit into their bank account around March 12th. So March 12th is a Friday, so they said maybe March 12th, maybe even some might see some on the 13th, which is a Saturday, as well as picking up more flows of deposit and other things starting on March 15th. So March 15th, more people will start to see more deposit into their account. Many people, SSI, SSDI, non-filers, people who are adult dependents, your stimulus check will be going to the information, like I said, that's on file, hopefully starting on March the 12th. So if it's signed off by March the 10th, because remember, they're trying to get all this through before March 14th, because that's when the current unemployment run out. Speaking of the unemployment, we didn't even talk about the numbers. $300 weekly federal boost for unemployment, and a lot of people, it's like millions of people who are claiming unemployment. So going forward, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be doing some more update and updates and follow up as I continue to get some news and some breaking news out of Washington, D.C. in regards to the stimulus package and the stimulus check. So once again, make sure you continue to be safe out there. Wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your eyes, nose, and mouth. Continue to be safe and continue to check out those bank accounts and look out for those stimulus checks. Once again, it's Ainsley D. Continue to be safe. Talk to you later. Peace.